I took a music theory course back in college, and that's where I first learned you really don't appreciate a song until you've heard it 3 or 4 or 5 times. That may hold true in the automotive world. Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now, I've test drove the Fiat 500s many a time in many a fashion, from the two-door to the said offering behind us. But it's only been as of late that I've started actually to think fondly of them. Now, this week's test drive specifically is the 2019 Fiat 500X Pop Edition. And I'm not sure if it's the pop that got me excited or just the fact that maybe I let my hair down and gave this vehicle a chance. Even better, well, this time it didn't come in kind of a quirky color. I've had everything from the two-door creamy cuteness and the light colored blues. This one, nice and royal, and even better, nice tinted out windows. This fits all the check boxes that I typically like. Even better, there's been some refinements that really maybe stood out this time. Now, this is kind of a stretch, but this reminded me of one of those little dune buggies I used to see with the big old tires, the big old lift springs, the open air feel, and pretty much gallivanting across the beach. Well, maybe the comparison is only the fact that it looks a little lifted, and well, it also looked like the blue ones I always remembered. Well, and also it has decent ground clearance, just under 8 inches. So if you can't really go dune buggy surfing, you could at least maybe get it a little sandy. Well, either way, it has the same size numbers. Now, what I'm referring to as well, the overall size feels kind of buggy-ish. Now, what you're going to see is around about 167 inches overall. Stretched wheelbase at maybe 101 inches. Not too shabby. The actual bigger numbers come in the width, just about 75 inches wide and, well, just over 5 feet tall. Decent numbers that really give it nice stance and, well, overall height that, well, for this 6 foot 2 inch frame, feels somewhat cathedral on the inside. But again, it just kind of looks kind of cool with its overall jacked up style. The true definition for the Fiat may be proportional, because everything just feels right. The inside feels just right, great leg room, the engine just right, enough pep in your step, and the cargo even better. Overall, this vehicle really feels like the weekend getaway. I mentioned the beach, and well, it fit in quite well there. Even better in the urban setting, you just pick it up and put it in a parking space. Now in the open road, well, maybe just let everyone pass because, well, they're going to marvel at it at least, and then they'll get out of your way. Now, while we're back here at the business end, well, everything's really just nice and sleek, really body color all the way around. And with this really striking blue, it really set it off. Now, I've driven several other colors, of course, and, well, this one just really set off the tone, not to mention the darkened rear tint. And that may seem kind of overstated, but I've seen many of, well, the economic cars that just have open glass and, well, it heats things up and just doesn't really take my fancy. Now, what I do like back here is just the overall style. A little bit of chrome, nice Fiat right in the middle. Now, what I do like is, of course, the backup camera, plenty of safety when it comes to backing up. Now, when it comes to overall cargo room, what you're gonna have is around about 12 cubic feet back here, typical of an average sedan. Nice tonneau cover, even though there is just a kind of a wedge for someone to peek in. What I do like is kind of having that security so no one can really see what you have offered back there. Now, as for overall cargo, when the seats start to fold down, well, it's going to be around about 20 cubic feet. Plenty of room to really kind of carry some friends or carry the surfboards should you want to, well, hit the waves. Now, besides this vehicle being proportionally done well, what also is done well is the ergonomics, the feel, the overall, well, just the comfort of this vehicle. And it all starts right here on the outside. Now, I've tested many a vehicle as of late, and they've kind of just done the old status quo, push the button, hit the key fob. But this vehicle, well, takes it up to the next level. What I'm referring to is the good old intuitiveness. Keep the key in your pocket, put your hand here, unlocks with ease. And here on the passenger side, that means it's undoing every door, so real easy to use. Now, when you walk away, just simply press that. The good old audible horn lets you know it's locked. Now, what I do wish it would do is step up right here. Now, this seems simple, but why not go at least to the good old pull handle there by the driver to unlock this? But unfortunately, this is unlocked all the time. So with this kind of sweet looking ride, someone unfortunately might think you need a little more sugar, and that could just be an Achilles heel. Now, once you open this up though, they did go capless, so at least it is one less step to, well, fill her up. Now, I mentioned everything being the right size, the right fit, everything perfectly proportioned, and really it all starts right here at the engine. Has to have enough boot, scoot, and boogie to, well, couple nicely with this kind of bugged out design. Now, before we get to the engine, let's talk about the grille warfare. And really, it's not the grille worth talking about, but really the bugged out look when it comes to the headlights, really setting off the front end more than what you see through the middle. Now what I like is you of course got some nice cylinder style up top, but it's nice globe appointment on the outside. Really doesn't fixate you thinking everything's nice and cylinder. Kind of too much of a throwback Thursday that could have been. What I do like is the nice stylized again down here below. Now don't get confused, these are the operational headlights up top. These are actually more like the daytime running accent lights. So these are actually be what people see all the time. This of course when it starts to get dark outside. Now back to the big engine. What we're looking at is a 1.3 liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged. Now it's going to deliver around about 135 horses and 150 foot-pounds of torque. What you also notice is just a little bit of roar, well, once you leave it sitting. Now once you crank it up just a little bit, it will be a little modest, but it does tend to have kind of this a little louder approach when it sits idle for just a little bit of time. Climb inside, one of the first things I noticed was the infotainment up top. Now I haven't tested this on previous models, maybe it wasn't the option, but what I like is really it's nice and colorful and real easy to use. Now pretty much everything you need to know is down below, but minimize buttons, everything really housed here on the touchscreen. Nice simpleness when it comes to volume and tune select. Now as you sweep down, what I also like is body color matching here on the dash, really mimicking a lot of the extra wow factor that goes into Fiats and really vehicles like this. Now as you swing down, really simple controls when it comes to climate, nice symmetric knobs, temperature in the middle of course, fan speed and different mode select over there. For connectivity you will find 2 USBs, auxiliary jack, and for storage a nice shallow tray down here. Now what I'd like to see is an option down here for wireless charging. Really put it there, put your phone and forget about it. However, I'm not sure with the bigger phones if that is enough space. Now this model was all-wheel drive, so you do have the various driving selections from the kind of sporty mode, standard mode, as well as the slippery situations. For the gauge cluster, you'll find a standard analog tach and speedometer, but what I really like is what's in the middle, a huge oversized digital readout. Now, it's of course going to give you your temperature and fuel settings as well, but really that digital readout for speed is the crucial point because, well, that's just where everyone's going, and thankfully, Fiat took to the next level, making it nice and large. On the steering wheel, you will find controls for cruise here on the right side, as well as some options that this vehicle didn't have. On the left side, just will be the controls for the gauge cluster up there, as well as your phone selection down below. Now, when it comes to legroom numbers, you're going to find about 41 inches in the front, 34 in the back. Not too bad. With a little bit extra space up front, those front seats can slide forward, giving an extra little bit of breathing room for the knees. Now, as for overall comfort, you will find room enough for 3 across, but no center console for elbow support. You will also find connectivity in the form of a nice USB connection. That does for this edition road warrior and a test drive behind the wheel of the 2019 Fiat 500X Pop Edition, a Fiat that finally popped out at me, mainly because of, well, the color, the tint, and the turbocharged engines. That versus the other previous models that seemed just too cute and cuddly. So finally, maybe I've given it a fair shake and realized, well, it comes in multiple forms. All I had to do was just find my special choice. Now, as always, thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. Keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.